Privacy. We heard about it so many times. Our smartphones are listening to us, tracking us, invading our lives, sometimes without our consent or maybe even more. On one side, there are those that are certain phones are spying us, and then on the other, experts saying the opposite. But what I really want to analyze here with you is what's the perspective of two main players in the smartphone industry, parent companies of two widely used platforms, Google and Apple, giants behind Android and iOS. Let's check it out after the intro. Hi guys, and welcome to Digital Marketing's channel. My name is Marco and this is your weekly fix of tech news, leaks, rumors and opinions. Everything about Apple and their competitors. If you're a fan of this type of content, please subscribe and don't forget to hit notification icon so you don't miss the next video. If you already own a smart device, smartphone, tablet, computer, and you have access to the internet, it's no secret that your privacy is potentially in jeopardy. Even with the most secure platforms, the moment you're part of the web, you've been exposed. Is that scary? Not really, it doesn't have to be. Unless you're doing something that is illegal or you're someone famous. But the things are more complicated than that. Both Apple and Google had their shares of controversies, although they both tend to appear strong about users' protection. Apple does have a little edge. That doesn't wipe some recent misfortunate events. In 2019, Apple was caught in Siri privacy scandal. The Guardian reported that Apple's contractors worldwide had access to confidential information, like private discussions, business deals, criminal dealings, even sexual encounters. These records were accompanied by user data, including location, contact details, and application information. Officially, some portion of Siri requests are analyzed in order to improve Siri as an AI and dictation. The biggest problem, however, was that in some of those instances, Siri was accidentally activated. This issue was not as much of a case with the iPhone as it was with HomePods or even Apple Watches. Sadly for users, last year, Google was in a similar situation. Belgian public broadcaster apparently reviewed more than 1,000 audio clips that were recorded with the activation of Google Assistant. 153 clips had been captured accidentally. You see, Apple and Google are just some of many companies with similar tendencies. Amazon, for example. Technology columnist Geoffrey Fowler wrote about one practical experiment for the Washington Post. According to Disconnect, a firm focused on privacy and user protection, which was leading this experiment using the information from Geoffrey's iPhone, 5,400 hidden app trackers have sent private data in just a week, and most of that information was transmitted during the night. The estimated result would be around 1.5 gigs of data for the time span of 1 month. That's a lot. If you think that is troublesome, just imagine why Google have banned few times Disconnect Mobile from its Play Store, intended to prevent tracking and malicious advertising. Google has also been involved in a couple of healthcare data sharing scandals. The recent one, for example, was Nightingale Project, which was comparable to Cambridge Analytica controversy. In 2010, Google was caught collecting unencrypted Wi-Fi data from domestic homes with their Street View car. Some of the leaked data could have been password, email addresses, phone numbers, personal web activity, etc. Google officially declared it was accident, which in 2012 was proven to be untrue. It's getting worse. Associated Press made investigation where they concluded that Google is tracking your movement, even if you have made adjustments that would prevent that, and that on both most popular platforms, Android and iOS. Massive data breaches, tons of private information data shared with external sources have put Google and Facebook in the spotlight of really negative publicity. According to one study, Google has trackers on 76% of websites, while Facebook around 23%. While it's most definite that virtual assistants can record the information even if activated accidentally, to confirm that phones are listening while idle is still a matter of polemics. What is certain, it's technically possible. Some of us have experienced it. Just a few days ago, I saw my cousin and we had a conversation where I mentioned one of the universities. And right after that, he took his Huawei P30, obviously Android, and in his Google search, similar type of university was already in search suggestion. I'm certain that this term wasn't used in his recent searches. So was that the accident? This cannot be the only example. We do have to admit there are some beneficial sides and advantages of this. Our smart devices can be more practical and useful. Having access to our data, companies can really make our lives simple and less time-consuming, giving us exactly what we need at the right moment. The problem, however, is unauthorized access and sharing of that personal information. The good thing is some companies are getting more privacy dedicated. Apple has been well known for being determined to reject demands of government security backdoor. And with the upcoming iOS 14 update, Apple is going a step further, sharing approximate instead of precise location unless specified differently. Camera and microphone recording indicator. The biggest one yet is the option for iOS users to refuse tracking of specific application on pop-up window. This came in as an extension of previously implemented intelligent tracking prevention technology inside of Apple's Safari browser. This latest steps show clearly that Apple is hitting hard on ad industry. While Android already had some tracking permissions adjustments, the problem in this case was the fact that ads represent a huge portion of Google's income. This has led some companies, members of 16 marketing associations, some of them backed by Google and Facebook and those alike, to fault and to criticize Apple, claiming that if application asks users for permission twice, would increase chances that users will refuse it and deny access. What is going to happen, it remains to be seen. Apple is established as hardware company primarily, and since recently more services oriented, which means it doesn't generate money from the ads, and therefore they're in way better position. If it was the other way around, I wonder what would it be. That's all for now. If you had any weird suspicious experiences with your smartphone or any other smart device, please share in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and once again, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching Digital Marketing's channel. Talk to you soon. Have an excellent day. Bye.